Hello, Poplars! Now it's story time. Look, I have here this wonderful book, Pete the Cat and his 4 groovy buttons. This is a button, okay? So, Pete the Cat put on his favorite shirt with 4 big, colorful, round, groovy buttons. He loved his buttons so much, he sang this song. My buttons, my 4 groovy buttons, my 4 groovy buttons. Pop! Oh no! One of the buttons popped off and rolled away. How many buttons are left? 3. 4 minus 1 equal 3. 1, 2, 3. Did Pete cry? Goodness, no! Buttons come and buttons go. He kept on singing his song. My 3 groovy buttons. My 3 groovy buttons. Pop! Oh no! Another button popped off and rolled away. How many buttons are left? 2. 3 minus 1 equal 2. Did Pete cry? Goodness, no! Buttons come and buttons go. He kept on singing his song. My 2 groovy buttons. My 2 groovy buttons. Pop! Oh no! Another button popped off and rolled away. How many buttons are left? 1. 2 minus 1 equal 1. Did Pete cry? Goodness, no! Buttons come and buttons go. He kept on singing his song. My 1 groovy button. My 1 groovy button. Pop! Oh no! The last button popped off and rolled away. How many buttons are left? 0. 1 minus 1 equal 0. Did Pete cry? Goodness, no. Buttons come and buttons go. Pete looked down at his buttonless shirt, and what do you think he saw? His belly button! And he kept on singing his song. It's all good. my button, still have my belly button. My button, still have my belly button. I guess it simply goes to show that stuff will come and stuff will go. But do we cry? Goodness, no! We keep on singing. Buttons come and buttons go. The end. Did you like it? Okay. Now, poplars, you are going to look for 4 buttons. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And we are going to do the following. In a white sheet of paper, you are going to draw Pete the cat with his shirt, okay? Then you are going to color him, the cat, and the shirt. And then you are going to look for the 4 groovy buttons. You can stick them or you can play. My 3 groovy buttons. My 2 groovy buttons. My 1 groovy button. You can play with the buttons because buttons come and buttons go.